Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Soul Food for Thought. I'm here with Sarah
Sarah.
Kelel. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Sarah.
That's not my last name. First of all, I go by Sarah.
Very interesting.
Just Sarah.
Just Sarah. All right, just Sarah. You had a couple topics that you said you wanted to discuss on here. We can just hop right into it.
All right, let's
You
do
have something? Looked like you had something to say.
it. I didn't have anything to say.
Okay. First topic. Is chivalry dead? Now, what do you mean by this?
I don't actually know. How do you want to define chivalry?
Well, let's look it up. The medieval knightly system.
No, not that one.
The combination of qualities expected of an ideal knight, especially courage, honor, courtesy, and justice. But I think you're probably referring to like holding the door for a girl or something.
Sure. Yeah, I guess.
You guess?
I think it still exists in doses, but I don't know if it's necessarily as popular as it used to be.
Who would you put the blame on for that?
I don't really know. Society.
I'd say hot topic right here. Not very PC. It's women's fault.
It's women's fault.
Yeah.
Why?
Women
Are
don't
you
want
about to
chivalry.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want chivalry. I think
it's demeaning.
Yeah, I think it's
Women
like,
feel demeaned by that.
yeah, I think that's an old way of doing things.
So if a guy was polite to you, you'd be upset.
I wouldn't be upset, but it has to have been something established.
What does that mean?
Like, understand that I can do these things on my own, and you're not doing me a favor by holding the door open for
I
me.
mean, he is doing you a favor by holding the door open, though.
Sure, he's doing me a favor, but I want him to understand that doesn't mean that.
That he owes you anything?
Yeah, next topic. I don't like this one very much. It's not.
Okay, your topic. Obviously, that's why.
No, I didn't.
It's
That's not true. I sent you.
These accusations are false.
Let me see the topics
Let me see. My girlfriend says we can't talk anymore.
Oh,
What did you mean
that was
by
an
that?
interesting one. Okay, so For Y'all Entertainment has this platform called Group Chat. They have a YouTube channel.
Don't lose
And
them.
why? You have to give them due credit.
No, I don't.
We got these ideas from them, and you
You got
literally
these
accused me
I did
of
accuse you, 'cause
stealing.
You did.
I didn't steal. Anyways, shout out to Trey and Jay and Julian.
Don't act like they're your friends.
I like them a lot, and I wish they were my friends.
Every time I put them on the screen, they're just we're friends.
They're funny guys. You should definitely watch them. What was I saying?
You were saying my girlfriend says we can't talk.
Oh, yeah. How do you feel on that? I feel like that's something that maybe you can
What does
answer
that
better.
mean? Like you can't be friends with someone?
Yeah, like I
Because
don't
your
like.
girlfriend's insecure.
Doesn't always have to be insecurity.
Have you ever done that to a man?
You can't talk to this girl? No, never.
No, why not?
It's just stupid.
Yeah, you're not insecure, I'd say.
Sure, but I don't think it's that. I think it's just some people are just jealous and they can't control it. It's not like those feelings are rational.
I'm a little jealous too.
I don't know.
I am the jealous type.
I don't know if I'm really the jealous type.
Interesting. So, do you think that's an acceptable thing to say to someone?
No. I think it depends. I think it's on like a case by case basis, right? Like if
it's an established friendship, you shouldn't have to break it off.
Depends. Friendships change. Get a little too cozy, and then someone gets uncomfortable by that.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is definitely justified.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are humans built for monogamy?
I don't know, but there are norms, right? And if
Social
someone,
constructs.
yeah, and if that's all they know and they feel comfortable with those norms and they don't want to change them, then I don't think that they have to, right?
Yeah, isn't it kind of our duty to fight against societal norms, especially when they're oppressive?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that we don't have to, but it's just not everyone's taste,
So you're saying it's okay if someone doesn't stand
I'm
up
not
for
saying it's
something?
okay, but it's just if they don't know any better and that's all they feel comfortable with. I think it takes a certain type of person to go against norms, right?
Yeah, but hopefully we get to the point where we all kind of stand up for the
What we want,
abolishment-
what we
the
think is
abolishment of harmful social norms.
Yeah, but then you're just creating new norms. I feel like there are always going to be norms.
Yeah, there's norms, but some of them are more helpful and some of them are detrimental for
Yeah.
people.
I will say though, I feel like there is a wave of just like it's okay to act. It's okay to act.
Act what?
Just like irrational.
Oh, yeah, the cult of outrage.
Yeah. It's okay
Like,
to just
people
be like,
are upset over everything.
Yeah.
Sensitive ass people, man. Like, I get you can be offended, I guess,
but it's also like,
first of all, you can't be offended on someone else's behalf. Like, if say, like,
why
did
not?
you see
If
the
you
whole
hurt
prom dress thing?
What prom dress thing?
Like, the girl wore the Chinese prom dress,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy was like, my prom dress is not your culture.
Your prom dress is not my culture.
Yeah, your prom
my
dress,
culture is not your
goddamn
prom
dress.
dress. Yeah.
And basically, it was just some American dude, I think. I don't know. He might have been Asian American.
I think he was Asian American.
But basically, I guess there was a poll or something happened, and like a bunch of Chinese citizens clapped back at the guy. Like,
why?
Because they're like, it's not disrespectful. Like, she's wearing it in a.
Yeah, but also a lot of people. I mean, I'm just assuming, right? Like, say these people were in China,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't understand the climate of like culture in America, and they also don't understand that like it's a thing to do things like that, right? Like
what?
I mean, I'm not sure to what extent I agree with like cultural appropriation
to what
or whatever.
point does cultural appreciation turn into appropriation? Because America is the mixing pot.
The point at which you make fun of someone, I guess.
Yeah, she wasn't making fun of anyone.
Yeah, no, she definitely wasn't. But I think also Twitter definitely perpetuates this like hypersensitive.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't necessarily.
Twitter people are. I mean, the whole
Twitter activists.
Anonymity. Can't even say the word. Anonymity of the internet just kind of promotes the ability to be outraged over things that you wouldn't normally express in the real world.
I think it's been helpful in some ways very harmful and destructive.
I mean, yeah.
Like, definitely, like, calling attention to things that you might not, like, normally pick up on.
Like Me Too?
Sure, that. I think the Me Too movement, I'm not sure if it started with social media, but I don't know. I do think that social media definitely did help it gain, like, a lot of traction.
Yeah. Circling back, I think we were talking about if it's okay to be offended on another person's behalf.
Mm.
What are your thoughts on that? If the person themselves that's actually the I guess offensive thing is aimed at.
Like, who's to say that? Like, if he's an Asian American with immigrant parents and he feels offended by that.
More along the lines of just that's a bad example, I guess, because that guy's actually Asian. But like, I don't know, just the fact of someone that's completely removed from the subject at hand.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying
there's one person makes a joke,
like white people calling other white people out?
That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. I'm saying more like someone will make a joke,
mm-hmm.
And I guess it could be targeted, or it's about like they're joking on a certain group of people, right? The group of people think it's funny, it's okay. And then another third party comes in and is like, that's not okay.
Yeah, but I think also sometimes it takes someone that's like not necessarily educated but aware of context or intention. And sometimes intention comes off as like very like innocent or whatever, or just from a place of ignorance. But I also feel like I definitely have been in situations where I've seen someone laughing at something and it's like, okay, I understand that this doesn't offend you, but understanding like the context in terms of like how this is harmful, and like if you allow it to be okay. For example, white people using the N-word, right? That's very like, as at least right now, if there's just a way, it's like, don't say the N-word, do not say the N-word. But then there's like one person, right? Say someone has a black friend, a white kid has a black friend, and they're like, bro, you can say it. That doesn't, I don't think that necessarily gives, I don't think that just because one person
doesn't
saying, oh, like, you're my friend, now you can say it. It's like, okay, but I just don't know if that's, I also don't think that our generation is necessarily going about change the right way.
Elaborate.
Like, I don't think that being like sensitive and calling people out constantly like that is.
I think our generation has an issue with actually coming together, because everyone this group of people and this group of people have the same end goal, even if some of their methods are different,
Super polarized.
or like maybe they have one different thing, like one little thing, like a different goal, but then their major goal, something that's good, they won't actually come together to
I think part of that
actually
is
make a change.
I think also part of that is like I guess we call it like an echo chamber, right? I think a lot of that is honestly sometimes people can't defend their beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're put on the spot, it's kind of hard to defend yourself when you're not around people that also believe the same things, right? Like say we're in a room, right? Me and Caleb, and Bob comes and says something. If I can't back up my point, I'm gonna look to you to validate what I'm saying, right? Because we're like-minded. Yeah. So.
I think that's also an issue with people having too many beliefs in this day and age. Everyone has an opinion about everything. It's okay to not have an opinion about something.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I think I actually kind of disagree. I've met a lot of people nowadays that are just completely like indifferent to everything.
Maybe it's just the silent majority. Like the people that have opinions about everything are the most vocal about said opinions.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is also for clout sometimes.
Clout chasing?
Yeah. Oh, I stood up for this thing, and now you get praise for sticking up for something that's just morally correct, I guess, you know?
Yeah, people always want to be right.
Yeah, and people always want the applaud from a certain group of people and want the approval of a certain like crowd. It's just like kind of unnecessary. Speaking
of which, Kanye West has been popping off on Twitter. Have you read any of that?
I have read some of it.
Opinions?
I personally, I think that he feels away, and I don't. It doesn't offend me, but I can see how it does offend people.
So are you a Kanye fan?
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that I'm a Kanye fan.
Yeah. I mean, heavily influential.
Yeah. Very controversial.
Yeah, right? He's just yin-yang, I think.
I agree.
He's always been controversial.
Yeah.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yeah.
I love that clip.
I love that clip.
Yeah, you're real funny, huh?
Anyway.
Come on my own show and disrespect me
I
like that.
love that clip. It's just this podcast persona is funny.
Oh, you don't like the persona?
I don't not like it. It's just.
Am I being fake?
You're not being fake. You're just being very
aloof.
Not aloof. Just funny. I don't know how to describe it. What's next?
Are girls prettier than guys? No, hell no.
Pettier.
Oh, pettier. Well, I'm gonna go with prettier right now, and we can also go on to petty.
Or girls? I think that beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Anyway, no. Let's actually talk about this. I think men.
I don't think I can talk about this.
Why not?
Are girls prettier than guys? Like what? It's just a very
shallow. Objectively, men are prettier.
Objectively, men are prettier. Are you trolling right now? Or are you trying to get a reaction out of me?
No, like.
I don't have an opinion on this. I just don't think I can answer a stupid question.
To cake themselves up. And it's societally acceptable. They can hide their flaws.
It's acceptable. Yeah. It's also acceptable for a guy to walk around with poor hygiene and ungroomed, and girls will still take them as is. And I think that's partially due to the pressure put on women to look a certain way because of media, because of whatever.
Where is it acceptable to be unhygienic?
It's just it's definitely acceptable in lots of circles.
What are these circles?
High school?
High school? No, bro. All those kids get roasted. You smell musty.
Yeah, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you just will like, for example, I don't like this topic, but I just think it's a very shallow.
Am I forcing you to speak on something you don't want to?
It's just very shallow, and it's just like, are girls prettier than guys? How can we speak on that? Like, how can we actually speak on that?
We can't. But are they pettier?
Are they pettier? Depends.
On what?
I think, again, pettiness.
This is your topic.
Is something. It's not my topic.
You sent it to me.
It's a topic that I sent to you. Doesn't make it my topic.
It's your topic.
It's not my topic.
It is your topic.
It's a topic that I listed. Which one was the one that you said you liked?
It was far and few between with the one you sent me. Oh, should you tip?
Kiki. Yeah, let's talk about this one. Should you
No.
tip? You've just wasted like so many good talking points. We could have just spent a whole podcast on tipping.
I didn't waste it. We're about to talk about it right now. We still have like.
No, not tipping. I mean the rest of it. Like we briefly covered on all those topics. We could have just done a whole podcast.
Yeah,
on tipping.
but that's boring. So.
Next.
Should you tip?
I think that you should tip.
Should you tip everywhere?
I think that you should always tip. Yeah. I think that the amount that you tip might be dependent on how well you were treated by your server.
Okay.
But I also don't think that if you're at a coffee shop and all someone did was ring you up and then you know how tip shows up whenever on some of those like news screens, I don't think I don't think you should be tipping someone.
Yeah,
if that's the case, like why wouldn't I tip at McDonald's, you know? All you did was ring me up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only required to tip if a place doesn't pay. If a place pays below minimum wage, which I think are far and few between now.
I don't agree.
Let me do some research.
Do your research. Do your Googles.
You should vamp while I do this.
Vamp.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, whatever, guys. We are seniors in high school currently. We're about to go to college. It's crazy.
Keep going.
We're sitting in Caleb's recording room. Fortuna's here, just not in the room right now. She's working on her photo project.
All right, here's what I found.
Restaurants
are required to pay their wait staff what is known as tipped minimum wage, which is $2.13 per hour. But even when tips do not make the difference, waiters still make no less than the federal minimum wage because restaurants are legally required to pay the rest. So they all make minimum wage, even if you don't tip them.
Is that enough, though?
It depends on where they live.
Well, minimum wage is also
not
contingent on where you live. Minimum wage in California is
yeah,
different
that's
from minimum
new,
wage in Texas.
This is the federal minimum wage.
Sure, federal minimum wage, whatever. I just don't think that if someone. I think it's just the right thing to do, in my opinion. If someone's waiting on your table, passing your food around, serving multiple tables at the same time, you know, making sure that you're taken care of, making sure that you receive a certain experience, right? Like, you're not going to get that experience at home, are you?
I do not personally disagree with you.
disagree with you.
I don't personally disagree with you.
But Caleb does not tip.
I do tip.
Caleb does not like to tip.
This is slander on my name, and this is
Caleb
defamation.
does not like to tip.
I will remove you. No.
Has it only been 7 minutes?
18.
Okay, that's good. That's more like it.
Yeah, I'm not personally against you. I'm just here for the sake of argument.
You're gonna play devil's advocate? Okay, so defend your point. Make a case.
My point is that they make the federal minimum wage, which has been determined by, I'm assuming, economists and people that have taken into account the cost of living, and that they're not dependent on my money.
Okay, so my personal experience working at a restaurant as a hostess was that, well, one, I will say that, again, this is all contingent on, you know, where this person is in their life, but I knew multiple servers who worked a lot, right? Worked lots of hours, but due to one, business being slow, and two, receiving bad tips, they were not able to like literally they had so many expenses and just not enough money.
Yeah, but they're making the federal minimum wage, so it's not
your problem.
Duty to.
Sure, but why not help out when you can, right? You're not getting the same. You're going out to eat. If you can't afford to tip, don't go out to eat.
Said. I still think it's not necessary to tip, though.
It might not be necessary, but I think it's just.
It's not. It's a common courtesy, sure, but you're not a trash human if you don't tip.
You're a very inconsiderate one, I think.
I mean, that's how it is.
Just very insensitive.
Yeah, weren't we just roasting people for being sensitive?
Yeah, but there's a difference between.
A difference.
That's a different type of insensitive, right?
I mean,
This isn't
that's just
someone's. This isn't
unsympathetic.
no, no, yeah, and it's also it's not like
But I don't have to
it's not
sympathize with
sensitive.
every
It's
person
not
I meet.
sensitive towards your feelings. It's just sensitive to like this is literally your life, your livelihood, what you
I don't have to be
how you
sympathetic for every
sustain
single
yourself.
person I meet.
Yeah, but why should? I guess I'm coming from a different place, right? Like having parents, or
Mhm.
yeah, having a mom that like works a minimum wage job, right? And
Mhm.
knowing how tired she is when she comes home
Yeah,
at the end of the day, knowing the like just rude people that she has to deal with.
exactly.
It's like why make someone's life harder when you can?
Yeah, but it's still like it's nice to make their life
As
easy.
J.
If you
Cole
don't,
said,
if you
the
don't,
strongest drug of them all is love.
that's
That's
irrelevant.
voice
But
crack ticket. They also do that on group chat.
ah, um,
They actually like literally
yeah, you don't have to be a
right.
rude. You don't have to be
You
a
guys
rude
can't see
dickhead.
this right now, but I'm handing
You don't have to be a rude
I'm
dickhead.
handing
But if you
Caleb a
don't tip, it doesn't.
voice crack ticket. Can you take the ticket and I'll leave
I'm
you
not
alone?
taking the ticket.
Take the ticket.
I'm not taking
All right,
the
it's
ticket.
going in your shirt pocket, buddy.
Ooh, yeah.
Stop. You have to take that out. That's
I'm not taking it
unacceptable.
out.
That is unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, tipping is not a requirement as long as you're a decent person and you're fast.
Yeah, sure. Technically, it's not a requirement, but why? I understand receiving really bad service is a reason why you wouldn't tip as much or tip at all, but just be considerate of what you're how you're adding on to this person's life that's already hard.
Yeah, but you don't know their circumstances, so
I think a lot of times if someone's making minimum wage, life can't necessarily be
you don't
easy.
know where they are in their life. They
I
could
don't
be
know,
living
but
with their parents.
that's true. Yeah, if it's but you literally never know exactly why you should just take the precaution.
Or you could not and just run the same exact opposite of what you just said.
Yeah, but what's the it's all about being a good person, right?
If you want to be.
Yeah, if you want to be. I mean, if someone doesn't want to be, that's up to them. But I personally think that you should tip.
Okay. All right. Can guys and girls be friends?
Yes.
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 I guess I'll take no then.
You're just gonna take no,
I mean, yeah.
even though
it's
you
not really
personally.
It's not
it's
really.
not interesting if we don't. Yeah, but you okay. Then if we agree
Do
on
you
it,
want
you
my
literally.
personal ideology?
No, I didn't care for your personal
Okay,
ideology,
then.
Caleb.
You care for argument.
I don't care for argument. Do you just come on here and argue with people?
No, but it's more interesting to disagree with someone and try to like have them explain their
Yeah, but
ideas.
in the text you literally said, "Let's not talk about that one. We have the same opinion on that."
Yeah, but now I can run the exact opposite opinion.
Okay, make your case.
What was it?
Can
guys and girls be friends? No, because there are hormones that are instinctual that cause men to seek many mates.
Okay. What about self-control?
Self-control is good, but you can't, unless you're like a monk or something, you can't control the hormones firing off in your brain.
Yeah, but you control whether or not you act on them.
Yeah, but is that really a beneficial friendship then? If you're just practicing
not
self-control
acting
the
on
whole
your
thing.
primal instincts, yeah, I think that is.
You think it's beneficial? I mean, why put yourself in that position then?
Why put yourself in what position?
Where you'd have to hold back on. Like you could just avoid it by not being
Well, I
friends
think
with girls.
yeah, you could, but then you're losing out on a huge. Yeah. Huge perspective, right? Like the female perspective is definitely very different from the male perspective, and I think it's makes you a more well-rounded person the more types of people you're around.
I concur, and personally, I agree with you. But that was for the sake of argument. Now,
make a better case.
I don't have a better case because that's a dumb thing to argue.
That's a dumb thing to argue. So it's really interesting to see the sound.
The sound waves.
Yeah, it's really
right.
interesting.
Next segment.
Next segment.
Do you have any funny stories that you want to share?
Okay. You have to narrow that down.
Last week I had car crashes and injury stories. So, have you ever been in a car crash?
I've been in two, yeah.
Your fault?
I don't drive. I've been in a car or two.
Was it the person driving your car's fault?
The car that I do not own. The non-existent car. Am I making this difficult for you? Well, okay, I remember. Okay, I was in what? fifth grade, or I believe fourth grade. And I was with my uncle and we were driving. And let's see.
Am I boring you?
Me to death. Yes. Anyways, how long are these podcasts usually?
An hour.
An hour. Jeez, that is hard to talk for a whole hour.
You get used to it.
You're just a pro at this, huh?
I mean, I'm on the 5th episode.
Jeez, 5th episode.
5 in.
Yeah, I'm the 5th episode.
Number 5.
That makes me I'm honored. I have to come in on I have to be 5, 25, 55,
You're doing multiples of 5.
and 100. I don't know what I'm doing. It's just anything that ends in 5 that seems like a significant number.
50 would be a significant number.
That's according to you.
Okay. Continue.
What was I saying again?
You and your uncle.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this was a time. I was in 4th grade. My mom had to go to work super early, and my uncle was the one that was taking me back and forth to school. But my uncle is young. Like might as well have been my older brother, right? And so I was late to school, so because no one was really holding me accountable.
As usual.
Yeah, we weren't holding each other accountable basically. He didn't like waking up on time. He didn't really rush me if I was late. The drive was long because the traffic it was a mess. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I was really just concerned about getting to school on time because it really irked me that I was getting to school late. I did not like it at all. It just wasn't what I was used to. I was used to being held accountable, but then again, I did a poor job of like just getting ready on time. Anyways, we were on the way to school. We were on Mockingbird. Do you know Mockingbird?
Yes.
It's a long, long street.
Long.
Long. Okay, yeah. Anyways, we're driving. I believe my uncle tried to switch lanes and he had his light. I'm pretty sure he showed, what's the signal?
Turn signal.
He signaled that he was trying to turn. Or it might have been vice versa. The guy was trying to switch lanes. Yeah, the guy was trying to switch lanes, but didn't show any signal. This is what happened. And my uncle, I guess, rear-ended him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my uncle's fault.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how that went down, like legally. I'm pretty sure it was still.
Were you bouncing around in the car?
So I wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Nice.
Wasn't wearing a seatbelt, but I remember we got to go to the chiropractor after. It was really fun. We got to milk the on someone else's dime.
Nice.
It was nice. We went to the chiropractor pretty often. But I remember even after we got into a car crash, the first thing I did was call my mom. Be like, Mom, I crashed the car. Can you come pick me up and take me to school? Like, not even like, can you help us?
Is he okay?
Yeah. But yeah, that's not a really funny story, but I thought it was funny that the only thing I was worried about was getting to school on time after being in a car crash. But after that, I became very paranoid, and still now I get pretty paranoid in terms of like when someone else is driving. I feel like I have to be the car. You know?
The car.
I think you can attest to that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to injuries. What is this?
She
has a scar on her leg.
That was
interesting.
No, not really that interesting. I was at Spring Creek Nature Preserve and I cut my leg on a tree branch.
Were you having fun?
It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I like being outside.
Do you have any crazy scars?
I have one on my side, although it's not there anymore.
Tell the story.
It's pretty faded away. But I was in Ethiopia. Dogs in Ethiopia are not as like trained as they are. I think. Well, that's not true. That's not really true. But it's very common to have just like stray dogs, like street dogs. Yeah. And they're very like self-reliant. Like they don't really need you to feed them or anything. They just figure it out.
You try to feed them.
I have not fallen into that trap. I think I was warned to not do that. I heard it's the same in Dominican Republic.
Pretty much the same everywhere, right? Yeah. Don't feed the stray dogs.
Yeah, that's beside the point. Anyways, I was with my cousin. We went to her friend's house, and there were two dogs. There's a puppy and there's a mama dog.
Cute.
Yeah, and I went for the puppy, and the mom just clawed at me.
Clawed or bit?
I think she clawed at my side. I'm not sure. I don't think she bit me. She might have bit me actually.
Did you clean it?
So I don't even know how bad it hurt, but I just remember just crying a lot. And my older cousin, carried me um, walked me, and as I was walking crying, in Ethiopia they have like they call them souk. They're like merchants, right? They have little
Mhm.
they have little shops just like on the street. And I remember as I was walking and crying, they were giving me free like
That's cute.
candies and stuff. Yeah, because I was crying. I think I was doing that for attention mostly.
You were doing it for the free stuff.
Yeah, in hindsight, I think it was just for the attention, but the attention came with cookies and crackers and
That's awesome.
gum. Yeah, but yeah, and then I remember my grandpa being really upset with my cousin for letting that happen to me, and he ended up coming to the hospital. And I went to the hospital. I'm not sure what they did for me. But my mom freaked out, and so she got the dog taken to some.
Did it come back?
They like put a little, what's that thing called when they
Muzzle.
put a muzzle on the dog?
Mm.
Which is kind of stupid. It's kind of my fault for touching the puppy and not understanding.
Yeah.
But also the dog, I think, just lacked like training to know not to do that. But that's just an instinct. I don't blame the dog. Now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame it now.
That reminds me of a story from when I was maybe 6 or 5. Basically, my grandparents used to live in North Carolina. They
What
had this,
part?
Mountains. I don't know. I was too young to
Okay.
remember. Basically, they had this dog named Millie. He was really old, and it was probably like 2 of me at that time. And I just vividly remember my whole head being inside of the dog's mouth.
Holy.
Like it was biting around my scalp.
Jeez.
And I was crying, I think. I don't know. There's a lot of good memories there.
That's interesting that you associate that with good memory.
I mean, it was fun in hindsight, and it's a cool story to tell.
It's a cool story to tell. I always think that's funny that we find like humor and things like that. But what else would you do? You know?
Yeah, I mean, laugh.
You don't laugh about it, and you cry about it, and that's not good.
Yeah. I also, me and my sister used to they had stairs with carpet in their house, so we used to get in like a laundry basket and like slide down the stairs. And we were going a little bit too fast one time, and there's an end table right at the bottom of the stairs. I was sitting in the back. My sister ducks, and I just bean my head.
Jeez. You have a scar from it?
No, I have a lot of scars.
I have a scar on my chin. I don't know how it got there. Nobody knows.
This?
I asked my mom, and she did. No, I see one right here.
Yeah, maybe that's that one.
By the way, we're looking at Caleb's face.
Yeah, it used to be actually a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt.
I don't remember how I got it. I think
you wish it was a lightning bolt.
No, it was. You can ask anyone.
I can see it now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling for texture. Yeah.
It was there, and there.
Interesting.
I don't know how I got it.
Kind of sad that my scar faded.
Yeah, me too. I might have to recut it.
Don't do that.
Nah, I know.
That's
also,
stupid.
Did you ever just wake up with cuts that you didn't know how you got as a kid?
No, but I did wake up on the floor a lot. I always fell out of bed. That was common.
I can see that.
Yeah, I just wasn't a very still sleeper. I guess is that a thing?
Yeah, I used to move around and talk in my sleep. I might still do that. I don't know.
My mom told me that I've sleepwalked.
Yeah. To do what? What were you doing?
I don't know, but she always sprayed holy water on me and it went away. Apparently, woke me up.
Nice.
According to her.
I was sleepwalking once, and I went and opened the door and walked out in the middle of the street.
That's bad. I just processed that. That's bad.
Yeah. I was I think my parents were yeah, you asked for water or something, and then my dad's your dad just told you to wait right there, and he went and got water, and he came back and the door was open.
Sleepwalking is really funny.
It's scary, bro. Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
No, I've never had that, and I don't want it.
I wonder how you get it.
I think you have to be really exhausted, or you can self-induce sleep paralysis.
Why would you ever do that?
Because it's called something dreaming, vivid dreaming, lucid dreaming. Sorry.
That's just scary.
Lucid dreaming usually leads to sleep paralysis.
That's scary. I've had a lucid dream. Have you ever had one?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't remember. People who really get good at that must be in a whole different world.
Yeah, I think it's more scary to me. It's just something that I'd rather avoid.
Why? Being in control of your dreams? That'd be so insane.
I don't think you always have control over it.
I think that's what a lucid dream is. Like you can act like control your body in the dream.
And that's cool and all. Not my taste.
I would be asleep like all the time. As opposed to now, obviously.
You can do it. It's not hard.
I'm sure it is hard.
I don't think it's hard.
I don't care enough to put the effort in.
Neither do I. Never really cared for lucid dreaming.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I guess.
Do you have any paranormal stories?
No.
You've never experienced the paranormal?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Huh.
Huh.
Interesting.
Jinx.
Usually people
You owe me a Hank's root beer.
At least people will at least say like, oh, this was kind of weird. Has anything weird like that ever happened to you?
I try not to pay too much mind to things like that.
Like, I don't know. As a kid, I used to just want that stuff to happen. Like, I'd be on a plane and I'd look at the window like, oh my god, that's a UFO.
Okay.
It was literally just a cloud.
This I like when I was younger held as a secret. But I do feel like I used to see Jesus when I was younger.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
Or
intense.
angels.
Like in your dreams or like in
No, like
in
real life.
objects?
Like it was a normal thing where when I was younger, and I mean anyone will try and like justify this in some way, like you were a kid, you don't really remember, but like I vividly remember. It was a constant thing whenever my parents were driving and I was in the back seat and they were pulling out of the garage and out of the driveway. I would like see, and I don't know if it was an angel. It was not a human. You know that it was not a human.
Scary.
Yeah, I don't know if it's scary. I felt really protected. I feel like
Guardian angel.
from like a religious perspective, I think that when you're younger and innocent, you have the ability to see things, right? I think that's a widely held belief in my religion. People will say that like when a baby's just laughing and they're in a room by themselves, or they like hear you hear a thud and you walk upstairs and the baby's like just like laughing to themselves and like looking away at something. That they're like seeing angels or whatever. That's common in my environment, I guess, in my culture.
That's like easy to turn sinister though.
Yeah, let's not think about that though.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to think
Like
about
little
that.
kids just say creepy things.
Oh my god, please. No, I'm talking about like babies.
I know babies do creepy things.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that.
Babies are gross. Do you want babies?
No, as of right now, no.
They're gross, right?
Not even just gross, just
sticky.
I don't see the appeal really. I think it's just a pain to deal with.
I guess the appeal is implanting your beliefs into someone else, or just watching like another human grow.
Yeah, but people also like really fall in love with that, and I'm sure that I have the capability. I'm sure that I have the capability of doing that. I just don't know if I would be the best parent. I don't know if that's ideal for me. Maybe I'll grow up.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully I grow up. But like, I just don't think I'd be a good parent. Back to the thingy thing story, the angel story.
Okay, go ahead.
But it's very common. Like I would like regularly
What did it
see.
look like?
It was like
Ethereal.
yeah, it was honestly like it was like it felt like you know that what's that one in Brazil of Jesus?
I know what you're talking about.
San something. Look it up.
Son Jesus.
San.
It overlooks.
It overlooks
Jesus.
Brazil. Just say Jesus Brazil. It had like
Christ the Redeemer.
Christ the Redeemer. What's it called in Spanish?
Cristo Redentor.
It had a similar posture to that. Yeah, Rio. It is in Rio. It had a similar posture to that. Yes. And it was like against the wall of my garage. Yeah, but it had like wings almost, and it was like see-through almost, translucent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
That is very interesting.
Do you believe me?
I believe that you believe you saw something. I don't know. I'm not big into the whole. I guess there could be paranormal.
I will say that it stopped after a while, and I think that's associated with my like loss of innocence, maybe as a child.
Coincidences are very, very common, and it might have been lightning or something like that.
Lightning in my garage.
If it was constant in the same place, then I could see how that would be maybe your eyes playing tricks on you. But also, I'm not going to shoot down your whole beliefs,
Yeah, sure.
even though I just did.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm not really sure what I saw either, but yeah. I think that that's something that I saw.
I think it's very interesting when people pull hoaxes like that, like an alien hoax or like the Bigfoot hoax. Like, what are they gaining from that?
A following.
Yeah, but no one cares about the person. Like, do you even know the name of the person?
People care about an idea. Everybody wants to start something. Everyone wants to be original. Yeah, but started this podcast.
Yeah, but my point is the guy that recorded that video, the iconic video of Bigfoot like looking back and then walking away. No one knows who the fuck that is.
Are you allowed to curse on you?
Yeah, it's my own thing.
Your mom's gonna post this on Facebook so all her friends can see it.
So. You don't have to curse. I'm going to
refrain from cursing.
Top right here.
Simply because natural. I have no idea what my future entails.
Sarah Kelel. Sarah Kelel. Kelel.
Caleb is really pushing my buttons right now.
Sorry for the ear rape there. I just saw the sound waves.
We have to keep this PC just in case.
Just in case you become senator, which is your dream. Expand.
I'm not about to let you put me on the
spot. Expand.
I refuse.
Why?
Because it's a little stupid.
Being a senator is not stupid.
It's stupid. It's not stupid.
Cut the accent.
No.
Let's cut through all this BS.
I like the accent.
Let's get to the real Sarah and what motivates you.
That is not for the podcast.
I want to do a deep dive into your mind and see what's going on.
What's on my mind right now is that it's 7:39. This is what I'm doing Saturday night.
Are you ready to freestyle?
Yeah. Okay, now you have to. All right, Caleb is broadcasting his beatboxing skills. I have no.
You can't freestyle.
Lyrical talent.
Bro, you could have hopped on so easily.
I could have.
I don't appreciate.
I tried.
Scorning me like that.
No, I'm not scorning you.
You are.
I'm not scorning you.
I know you have talent.
I looked at the keyboard and my mind blanked. I literally was trying to think. Okay, keyboard, surfboard. Where should I go with this?
Keyboard, surfboard,
mind blanked.
Chalkboard, whiteboard.
Those are all just boards.
Writing up the answers. And
what's your ideal vacation?
I don't like the beach, which is an unpopular opinion, but I really don't like the beach.
It's not that popular. It's not that unpopular.
No, people like the beach, dude.
People generally like the beach, but I've met a ton of people that also do not like the beach.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too sandy. It's too salty.
Too salty.
And it's too hot. I'd rather stay in my house. Like a hermit.
What about like the mountains?
Nope. I like staycation. I just want to be in my house and not have any responsibilities.
That's interesting.
That's my perfect vacation.
You don't like traveling?
I don't dislike traveling.
Do you dislike traveling, Caleb?
No, I don't. I actually have plans to travel, but my ideal, like, if it's a vacation time I have off, I'm going to spend it in my house doing nothing. Recording podcasts.
Recording podcasts.
No. Yeah. I'm kind of a homebody.
Kind of a homebody. A bit of
What's
a homebody, no?
What's your perfect vacation?
Perfect vacation. That's an interesting question. Let's see. I don't know. I like the water and I like the sea. I like the beach.
You like the beach, huh? How often have you been to the beach?
I let's see, I went a lot this summer. I did a lot of traveling this summer.
Which beach?
This past summer. La Jolla, a lot of them in California.
You were in LA.
I was in LA, I was in San Diego, Carlsbad.
Cute.
cute. San Francisco, all around California. Visited a lot of schools.
College.
Recently on Twitter, I saw this girl post a fake admissions letter.
Ooh, not a good look, sis.
Not a good look, sis. It was a Harvard admissions letter.
That's cute. Did they sue her?
I don't know why they would do that. I don't think they have any grounds.
They might.
Would they? How?
Copyright.
But it was a fake admissions letter. It wasn't like their setup or hookup.
I don't know. I feel like they just want to screw her over. Why did she do that?
I don't know if they.
She was clout chasing?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't really get going to an Ivy League for undergrad.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Not on the pod.
Okay, let's just act like we haven't had this conversation.
Or we can just rehash our points.
Okay. I think that opportunity exists everywhere. I think it might be easier at an Ivy League.
I doubt. I'd say it's easier to network at a place where people go because their rich daddies send them there.
Well, that tends to be the case for some Ivy Leagues.
Maybe, but they require more of a merit-based record. Like somewhere like SMU. Merit when you have.
Well, I've heard that it's common at Highland Park, for example, for parents to really pressure teachers into giving their kids good grades.
Yeah, I mean.
As donors of the school or whatever, right?
Always. Money is always where it's at. But I'd say it's just a waste of money.
How do you feel about attaining wealth?
How do I feel about attaining wealth?
Do you wish to be wealthy one day?
No.
Will you fight it if it happens to be, you happen to do something?
It depends on what I have to do to get there. I'm really okay with living like an average life, doing what I like. I don't need a fast car or a big house. I'm okay just chilling out, man, and thinking. Working on things that I like.
Are those things mutually exclusive though?
What I like probably won't get me wealthy.
Yeah, but you can attain wealth and do the things that you like.
I don't want to attain wealth by doing something I'm not passionate about.
Okay, solid point.
I mean, you can become passionate after gaining wealth and after working in it for a while, but it's just not worth it to me. Why would I work somewhere where I'm not happy just for money?
Yeah, for some people. So do you think that financial security is a prerequisite to your happiness, or you're fine just paying minimum wage?
I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, but I don't need extreme wealth. Okay. Financial security in the
sense that you don't have to worry about
that I don't have
how you're gonna pay your bills, or can you afford this meal right now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have no problem against budgeting or anything, but it's just I don't want to be on the low end and I don't want to be on the high end.
Okay, fair.
I want to be in the middle,
That's
average.
Fair.
And you want to be on the high end, obviously, is why you're pressing me.
No, that's not true.
You don't want to be on the high end?
Mm-mm.
Why don't you want to be wealthy?
It's not that I don't want to be wealthy, but I do. I think that also depends on how you're defining wealth, right? I think as a result of my circumstances growing up and stuff, I don't ever want to have to worry about money. That's all. And I want certain. How rude of you! And I want things that might be expensive or pricey. And I don't think that they'll bring me happiness, but I came from a place where I couldn't necessarily afford it, so why not?
That's how it is for a lot of
immigrant children.
That and just youth that are not in a household that is economically stable. Mm-hmm. It's a big motivator. I've always found that interesting, because if you're abused as a child, beaten or whatever, you can either turn out
just like your parents,
or scorning your parents, the antithesis. And I just think it's interesting if that has to do with who you are, intrinsically, or also you can have great parents and turn out as a terrible person.
You know what? You should make a thing on this podcast.
What?
Eating soul food while
eating soul food
while talking. It's soul food for thought.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's just me looking for an excuse to eat soul food. But
I don't know if people would really find it very pleasurable to listen to.
Get away from it's ASMR. That's a new wave.
ASMR. Hey guys, this is the new ASMR podcast. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Will you make soul food?
I don't know how to make soul food.
I don't know what soul food is. No, I'm kidding. I know what soul food is.
You probably know more about soul food than I do.
Why is that?
I don't know. You tend to be into the African American culture. Is that PC?
No, you're making me sound like a culture vulture.
No, making you sound like a culture vulture. I don't think you're a culture vulture. Culture vulture.
Who do you think is a culture vulture?
A lot of people think that the Kardashians are culture vultures.
Who's culture? African Americans?
Maybe.
Huh. Is Post Malone a culture vulture?
Why? Because he has cornrows?
Because he makes hip hop music. He's profiting off the culture of African Americans.
I'll get back to you on that one. I haven't thought about that.
Huh. Paul Wall is definitely not a culture vulture.
Not a culture vulture? Why not?
I don't know, because he's not even that popular, first of all. And second of all,
he definitely was in his
he
time.
He was, but he was never like Billboard top 10. He might have been. I don't know.
Are you sure
I just think that he's just kind of with the culture. And Post Malone says things like, "I'm not a rapper or a hip hop artist."
Yeah, and I think that
he's using.
I think that he's proven that because he just makes music that doesn't necessarily fit into the hip hop genre, or it might be R&B.
I'd say most
sometimes.
of his music fits into R&B.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's not a hip hop artist.
R&B is still, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's interesting to see people mixing cultures. He's from Dallas, I think, or Grapevine.
He
or
is
something.
from Dallas, yeah.
That's
DF
interesting.
Dub.
What's your favorite Dallas rapper?
I don't think I have one.
Lil Twista.
I remember Lil Twist. It's not Lil Twist, it's Lil Twist.
What is it? Lil Twist?
Yeah.
I remember hearing him on K105.
K104? Yeah. I think I grew up listening to a lot of K104, 979, Beat.
97.9.
The Beat.
Yeah, I mean, I was introduced to hip hop in the 4th grade, and I've never turned back.
That's interesting. I don't know. I've definitely I've always gone through phases in terms of the music that I like. I think my music taste is inconsistent, and I like that.
Yeah, I can vibe with different kinds of music, but my baseline is usually hip hop.
I like all kinds.
I don't discriminate.
It just what sounds good is what I like.
I concur.
You like movies?
Do I like movies?
Are you a cinemaphile? Is that what they
Cinemaphile? No. I mean, I watch movies.
I'm not a
people
huge...
watch movies more than me, probably.
Yeah. I have an uncle that just loves movies.
What's your favorite movie?
Dave Chappelle's Block Party. It's not really, I don't think that counts as a movie. It's just like a...
It's not feature length. My favorite movie is The Big Lebowski.
I never watched it.
Oh, no. Alright, we're watching it after this.
No, we have to watch Dave Chappelle's Block Party.
We can watch both.
Okay.
It's a Saturday night.
Saturday
On
night.
Cinco de Drinko.
Cinco
That's
de
just a joke.
Mayo.
I do not condone underage drinking.
I do not condone underage drinking. My name is Caleb Clark Souls. I have a podcast, and I am politically correct.
I am politically correct, and I am legally correct. I follow all laws.
Mm-hmm.
I've never broken a law. What's the first law you broke? Or you don't have to tell me if you don't.
When I was younger, I accidentally stole something, not knowing that I was stealing.
How could you be such a terrible person?
I don't know. Anyways, I showed my mom, and she made me put it back. But...
That's cute.
Yeah, right. That's such a mom thing to do. I think all
She
moms do.
Put it back.
She did. She didn't hit me. Just the way that Caleb hit me just now.
On her wrist.
She was on her phone. She was talking.
Wait, how old were you?
I was like maybe 5 or 6. I remember it.
Oh, she had the razor.
She had, I don't know what she had. I think she had the Nokia.
My dad had the Nokia.
My dad had the Nokia.
Yeah.
My dad had the Nokia.
I used to play this spaceship game on there so much, and Snake.
Snake was on the Nokia?
Yeah, it had a bunch of games.
Yeah, and back to what I was saying. She was on the phone and she was talking and she wasn't listening to me, but it had been established that I'm not supposed to interrupt her while she's talking. So I just walked out and she was still on the phone. by the time we walked out of the store. And then I realized maybe I should tell her, like, as we were walking out. And then
Put it back. Put it back,
I was
Sarah.
like, Mom, can I have this? She was like, where'd you get that from? And then I had to go put it back. Another funny.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't end up getting it.
Oh.
I think I just picked up a bracelet. I was the kind of kid that just picked up anything that I liked and just asked, can I get it? Can I get it? Like it didn't.
You asked?
Yeah.
I was the kid that just snuck it in the basket and hoped that they didn't notice.
I think I pulled that a couple times, but I had a ridiculous fear of my mom growing up, so I didn't do that.
Had?
I think I still have one, but I don't know if it's. I think the fear has turned into just respect now.
Respect.
Respect.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely just like hid stuff in the basket and hoped they didn't see when it was getting scanned. But they definitely always saw and they were like, put this back. And then I got scared because I was like, they already finished checking out. I have to run back.
Yeah.
Have you ever been lost in the grocery store?
I was always getting lost everywhere I went with my mom, and like I was the kid that would get called on the like.
Yeah, I've been called on the internet.
Come get your kid.
Come get this brat.
Or I would go and I'd be like, "Can you call my mom on the intercom?" Like, it was just a norm.
I can't find my mommy.
You can't find her. I would cry. I'd get so stressed out.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember I was at IKEA once, and I was with my parents, and I thought I found my mom. I'd lost them in IKEA. IKEA is huge. Huge. It's just so easy to get lost in. And I thought I lost her. Well, I did lose her, but I thought I had found her. There was a lady behind a cart with just a very similar like build, physique as my mom. And I walked up and I hugged her from behind because I thought it was my mom.
Yeah. And she's like screaming.
She was a white woman.
Nice. Don't know how you missed that.
I don't know. They had the same color hair, same everything. I don't know. It was funny.
Nice try. My sister definitely did that. She like hugged her friend's dad because she thought it was our dad, and then she was like mortified.
That's so cute.
Yeah, little kids are weirdos.
I think they're cute sometimes.
Mm-mm.
I remember I have this one funny story. We were in.
Go for it.
I don't remember where we were. I think it was back when Kmart was a thing.
Ooh.
We were in Kmart.
Nice.
Did they used to have toys in Kmart?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was like a phone set or something at Kmart. It was like a kid's toy. And I remember my mom was shopping for like clothes or whatever. And funny enough, she didn't even end up buying anything. But I insisted on getting the toy. I was such a brat. I was an only child.
Only child syndrome.
Mm-hmm. I insisted on getting the toy, and I ended up getting it. And when we were at the register, like I made a scene to get the toy. I wanted it so badly. I was one of those kids.
I'm sure you were.
But when we were at the register and the guy was ringing it up, he asked if we wanted, he said, "Do you want a bag?" But I thought he said, "Do you want it back?" So I screamed in the whole story. I had a meltdown and I was like, "No!" It was so bad.
You
It was
don't
so
want it
embarrassing.
back?
He said, "Do you want it back?" Like I
Put
thought.
back.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said. That's how I took it because I just
But
wanted
you got the toy.
I did get the toy even after screaming.
What was the toy?
It's like a little phone set. I think I said earlier.
How old were you?
I don't really remember. I think it was like 5 or 6.
Little brat, man.
I was a brat. I was a brat.
Did you get spanked?
I don't think I did. My mom had
Wow.
a soft spot for me. My dad would have probably put me in check.
No good.
No good.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me on Soul Food for Thought, episode 5.
On Cinco.
On 5 on 5 de May. 5 de May.
On Cinco de Mayo.
Thank you everybody for listening. This has been Soul Food for Thought. Catch you on the next episode.
I want to give an outro. Okay. This is Sarah K. out.